Is OpenAI about to put Google out of business? Hey, it's Cosmo, and welcome back to the channel. Today we are taking a look at the latest news from this past week in XR, AI, and cutting-edge technology. If you haven't already, make sure to hit subscribe so you can stay up to date. Big news from OpenAI this week. They announced the SearchGPT prototype, which is essentially their Google competitor. It's similar to ChatGPT, but optimized for search, so let's take a look. We're testing SearchGPT, a temporary prototype of new AI search features that give you fast and timely answers with clear and relevant sources. They're going out of their way to convey that this is a beta product and not something that is necessarily fully polished. We're testing SearchGPT, a prototype of new search features designed to combine the strength of our AI models with information from the web to give you fast and timely answers with clear and relevant sources. We're launching to a small group of users and publishers to get feedback. While this prototype is temporary, we plan to integrate the best of these features directly into ChatGPT in the future. If you're interested in trying the prototype, sign up for the waitlist, which you can do at chatgpt.com/search. A new way to search. Getting answers on the web can take a lot of effort, often requiring multiple attempts to get relevant results. We believe that by enhancing the conversational capabilities of our models with real-time information from the web, finding what you're looking for can be faster and easier. So I buy into the premise, it's already very possible to use ChatGPT as a Google replacement. That's what I've heard from some friends and acquaintances, that they've been able to essentially replace Google with ChatGPT, which is quite a development given Google's dominance over the past several decades and it being the default way to find information online. So here's what the interface looks like. It's quite similar to ChatGPT, but with a Google bend to it. So they're typing in a question, it's providing an answer, but it looks like there's more images and organization to the answer than what ChatGPT typically provides. You can ask a follow-up question. SearchGPT will quickly and directly respond to your questions with up-to-date information from the web while giving you clear links to relevant sources. So the links is really nice to follow up and see where the information is coming from. That's pretty critical. You'll be able to ask follow-up questions like you would in a conversation with a person with a shared context building with each query. That seems super useful. Partnering with publishers and creators. We are committed to a thriving ecosystem of publishers and creators. We hope to help users discover publisher sites and experiences while bringing more choice to search. For decades, search has been a foundational way for publishers and creators to reach users. Now we're using AI to enhance this experience by highlighting high-quality content in a conversational interface with multiple opportunities for users to engage. So this is a really interesting point and an important point that OpenAI is conveying to publishers and creators, because the concern with an AI-focused search engine is that it will simply give you the answer without requiring or having you to go to the source of where that answer comes from. And that's problematic for the current business model of publishing, content creation, and just the internet at large, where creators have historically depended upon the traffic from places like Google and other search engines to have people find what they're writing and then generate income off of subscriptions or ad revenue. So it seems like SearchGPT is attempting to give us the best of both worlds, where we have the benefits of AI, but then we also have the ability to then click into the source and support the original place where the content and information comes from. They're highlighting this point here. SearchGPT is designed to help users connect with publishers by prominently citing and linking to them in searches. Responses have clear inline named attribution and links, so users know where information is coming from and can quickly engage with even more results in a sidebar with source links. So this is very similar to Perplexity. Perplexity is an AI-first search engine, and they do a great job of surfacing sources of where the information comes from. Here, if we head over to the SearchGPT website itself, you can see that I'm on the wait list, so I'm not able to try this yet at the moment, but we can take another look, right? Designed to give you an answer, real-time information from relevant sources, search in a more natural, intuitive way. Visual results for richer understanding. Get visual responses with images and videos in an easy to understand format. So that looks very appealing to me as a designer. And this is a product to, of course, pay attention to. SearchGPT could become a major competitor to Google. So I'm curious what Google is thinking about at this point. What this development shows me is to never take anything for granted in the world of technology. For decades, we have gotten used to the notion of Google's dominancy in the realm of search and finding information online. And now OpenAI, of course, has existed, I think, since 2015 or perhaps even earlier. And now in the past couple of years, they've made a very large name for themselves with ChatGPT, and now with search can make an even bigger name for themselves as well. In some other massive AI news, Meta has announced Llama 3.1, their most capable model to date. Of course, Llama is open source, which is a big deal. And the big news today is that this is one of the first time, if not the first time, that an open source model is competitive and in some cases better than closed source models like GPT. It comes in 3 flavors, the largest being a 405 billion parameter model, followed by a 70 billion parameter model, and the smallest being 8 billion. Bringing open intelligence to all, our latest models expand context length to 128K, add support across 8 languages, and include Llama 3.1 405B, the first frontier level open source AI model. Llama 3.1 405B is in a class of its own with unmatched flexibility, control, and state-of-the-art capabilities that rival the best closed source models. That's a big deal. Our new model will enable the community to unlock new workflows such as synthetic data generation and model distillation. So here Meta is comparing Llama 3.1 to several other closed source models such as GPT-4 and Claude 3.5 Sonnet. It's incredible that Llama 3.1 is actually better than these other closed source models at several key benchmarks. The strategy here of investing billions of dollars to train these very large models and then releasing them for free is fascinating. Let me know in the comments what you think about the future of open source versus closed sourced AI models and how you see that playing out into the future. Some more Meta AI news. They have integrated Meta AI into the Quest platform. So this is quite similar to what they are already doing on the Meta Ray-Ban glasses, but now in more of a mixed reality context, which is pretty neat. So let's take a look at this video.
What do you see in front of me?
I see a dog, lounge chairs, and an umbrella on a deck in front of you.
It's always kind of amusing to see all these AI demo videos where they ask, what do you see in front of me? And it's like, yeah, I mean, I can see it with my eyes. I get the purpose of, it's demonstrating what the tech can do. It is quite impressive, but it's also quite funny as well because it's like, yeah, I mean, I can see it with my eyes already. Like I know what's going on. So where it gets more interesting, of course, is when you can ask information on top of that, right? So that's kind of the foundation of, okay, first you need to understand what the heck is in your world, and then from there, leverage that for new insights.
Can you give me a local place to go play basketball in Palm Springs?
A nearby place to play basketball is Ruth Hardy Park.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a great time playing basketball.
Can you find some colored t-shirts that would go with these shorts?
You can pair these shorts with a variety of colors such as white, black, gray, or even pastel shades.
Thank you.
So that last example was the most compelling, to be honest. The first two were not super interesting. It's like, tell me what's in front of me. Okay, I can see that with my eyes. And then the other one is just, something you could look up on your phone with Google. But this one, where it's actually able to understand what you're looking at and then provide information that is useful in that particular context, that is a unique and new way to use mixed reality headsets. And the interesting thing here is, there's been this controversy around giving developers camera access, whether it's Meta or Apple. Now, Apple has relented in a bit, specifically for enterprise, where if you have a large company, you can apply to get access to the cameras from the headset. And Meta here is showing that, of course, Meta, the company, has access to that, but it's still not available, as far as I'm aware, for just your average developer. So that's a bit frustrating, but it is exciting to see the future where we can leverage insight about what is going on in our world. In some more Quest news, Quest 3's mixed reality dynamic occlusion is now higher quality with better performance. So these are some updates to their depth API on the Presence platform. Dynamic occlusion on Quest 3 is currently only supported in a handful of apps, but now it's higher quality, uses less CPU and GPU, and is slightly easier for developers to implement. Occlusion refers to the ability of virtual objects to appear behind real objects, a crucial capability for mixed reality headsets. Doing this for only pre-scanned scenery is known as static occlusion, while if the system supports changing scenery and moving objects, it's known as dynamic occlusion. So you can see here, this is a great example where this creature appears behind this table realistically, as opposed to over here where they're overlapping. So here in this example from Meta, you can see this person put their arm over and the arm is being comped out on top of the guitar. This is an even better example here where this virtual guitar is behind both the chair and the arms as well. So you can see the person moving their arms and it realistically comps the hands and arms over the guitar dynamically. And then when they put the chair in front, it realistically occludes the guitar as well, which is actually quite impressive given all this movement. But this is necessary to have compelling and realistic mixed reality. So this is a very welcome update. In some more creepy AI news, Japan stores use AI to track smiles. Japanese supermarket chain Aeon has introduced an artificial intelligence system called Mr. Smile to assess and standardize employee smiles. What the hell? Standardize employee smiles. Wow, that is disturbing. Sparking debate about workplace expectations and the ethics of using technology to regulate emotions in customer service settings. Developed by Japanese technology company InstaVR, the Mr. Smile AI system evaluates over 450 elements of employee behavior, including facial expressions, voice volume, and greeting tone. Implemented across 240 Aeon supermarkets nationwide, the system aims to standardize staff smiles and maximize customer satisfaction. A trial run in 8 stores with 3,400 employees reportedly improved service attitude by up to 1.6 times over 3 months. The AI incorporates game-like elements to encourage staff to improve their scores, reflecting a broader trend in Japan of using technology to enhance customer service experiences. So this is both disturbing and dystopian, but also kind of cool and interesting. I feel mixed about this. I can understand, if I walk into a supermarket or any retail store, I definitely prefer the employees to, have some appearance of being happy and enthusiastic about what's going on. It's quite depressing. And, if you walk into a store and the employees appear bored or disgruntled or unhappy, but also, to force, or not, I guess it's not forcing, but to use technology to analyze somebody's smile and tell them to do a better job. Like, there's something very creepy and kind of messed up about that. InstaVR, a Japanese technology company, developed the sophisticated AI system Mr. Smile to analyze and quantify customer service quality. The system utilizes advanced facial recognition and voice analysis technologies to assess over 450 elements of employee behavior, including facial expressions, voice volume, and greeting tone. This innovative approach reflects a growing trend in Japan's retail sector, where businesses are increasingly turning to AI solutions to enhance customer experiences and standardize service quality across multiple locations. Let's take a look at these ethical concerns in harassment. Critics argue that mandating standardized smiles through AI systems like Mr. Smile could exacerbate workplace stress and contribute to kasuhara, a form of customer harassment prevalent in Japan's service industry. Well, I've never heard of that before. I wonder what that means. Nearly half of the 30,000 service workers surveyed by UA Zensen, Japan's largest union, reported experiencing such harassment. Concerns have been raised about the ethical implications of using technology to enforce emotional labor, potentially infringing on employees' rights to privacy and authentic self-expression in the workplace. Yeah, that's a great point. If I am not feeling great, if I'm not having a good day, and then there's this software telling me, hey, you need to smile more, or smile in this particular way, or look and act in this particular way, that's not going to feel great. But at the same time, I understand from the business perspective and the business owner's perspective the need and desire to have employees, be enthusiastic. That's an expectation for that type of business. I'm curious, how would you feel if you had software telling you to smile more? Probably not great. All right, some XAI news. Elon Musk's xAI has launched the Memphis Supercluster, a powerful AI training cluster located in Memphis, Tennessee. This cluster, which began training at 4:20 a.m., of course, on July 22nd, is a collaboration between xAI, X, and NVIDIA. It features 100,000 NVIDIA H100 GPUs on a single RDMA fabric, making it the most powerful AI training cluster in the world. The project is expected to significantly enhance the development of AI models, including the next version of Grok, and represents a substantial investment estimated between $3 to $4 billion. Yeah, this is quite significant. It's the most powerful AI training cluster in the world. I wonder if this will be used exclusively for XAI or if it will also be something that can be leveraged by other developers or companies. I really wonder about the use cases for this. Like, okay, the hardware is really powerful, clearly, but what are the outcomes that this will deliver? In the context of X, of course, there is tons of information that people are posting every day, posting images, videos, text. So I would imagine that this will be trained on that data, but to what end? I wonder what you think this will be used for. This is really neat. Stability.ai has announced a new Stable Video 4D, their latest AI model for dynamic multi-angle video generation. So what it's able to do is take a single object video and create multiple novel view videos of 8 different angles and views. So you can see here that using just one perspective, it's able to generate multiple novel perspectives. This is in research and has future applications in game development, video editing, and virtual reality. Building on the robust foundation of their Stable Video Diffusion model, which converts images into videos, the Stable Video 4D model takes a video as input and generates multiple novel view videos from different perspectives. This advancement represents a leap in our capabilities, moving from image-based video generation to full 3D dynamic video synthesis. So here's a little bit how it works. It's generating these novel views and then ultimately stringing them together into a singular 4D output. Here we can see some comparisons. This is the input video, and then these are other competing models that do something similar. You can see they're a bit jittery, a bit buggy looking. And then finally, this is the new Stable Video 4D, which is theirs, which looks quite clean. So right now we live in a world where most of our media is 2D, whether we record photos or videos, and we're moving into a more spatial world. So it's exciting to see research and technology like this that allows us to translate and transform our existing 2D media into more 3D content. So I love seeing this. Kling AI is now available for the general public. It used to require a Chinese phone number, and now they have a more proper English-oriented tool. Kling is comparable to Sora and Runway Gen 3. It's capable of creating very high quality generative video. So this is yet another tool in the toolbox for AI artists. And look at this. This is AI. This is incredible. Looks very high quality. Let's take a look at this. Carefully pouring the milk. Wow, look at that. Amazing how the milk just effortlessly, it's something we take for granted, right? It's like, the physics of the everyday world, but for an AI to be capable of producing something that looks this realistic is really quite impressive. Of course, it's not perfect. If you really pay attention to it, the milk actually starts filling up. Let's just zoom in on that. Whoa, the milk starts filling up prior to the milk actually reaching it. But hey, still pretty early days for this kind of thing. So I will be definitely playing with this myself. And if you want to try it out, you can go to klingai.com. And some more generative video news. AI video generator Runway trained on thousands of YouTube videos without permission from Samantha Cole on 404. A leaked document obtained by 404 Media shows company-wide effort collected thousands of YouTube videos and pirated content for training data. A highly praised AI video generation tool made by multi-billion-dollar company Runway was secretly trained by scraping thousands of videos from popular YouTube creators and brands, as well as pirated films, according to a massive internal spreadsheet of training data obtained by 404 Media. The model, initially codenamed Jupiter and released officially as Gen 3, drew widespread praise from the AI development community and technology outlets covering its launch when Runway released it in June. Last year, Runway raised $141 million from investors, including Google and Nvidia, at a $1.5 billion valuation. So they're setting the context here that this company has generated and raised lots of money. It's worth a lot. But there's this dark underbelly to their success, which is that they've trained this model on vast amounts of copyrighted material that creators and publishers did not necessarily give their permission to do. And as a creator myself, as someone that's been on the internet and published lots of photos, videos, text, and all kinds of various other information. My information as well, I'm sure, has been sucked up by these AI startups and corporations to produce their models. So I have mixed feelings about this because I personally feel like it would be great to get compensated for my contribution to these models. And I think other creators and people should as well. Yet at the same time, the economics of that, if you really play that out, would be probably like fractions of a fraction of a fraction of a penny every time our data is used. But perhaps that is still a better way to go than, not getting paid at all. Some other cool tech news: Chinese nuclear reactors completely meltdown-proof. The first ever full-scale demonstration of a nuclear reactor designed to passively cool itself in an emergency was a success, showing that it should be possible to build nuclear plants without the risk of dangerous meltdown. Notably, this only applies as a blueprint for future power stations. This is not able to be something that can be retrofitted to existing nuclear power stations, but this is quite notable because we require more and more energy for things like AI, and just in general, we don't have the healthiest energy practices globally. And if we could have more prevalent nuclear power stations without the risk that everyone fears about meltdowns, Fukushima, etc., that would be wonderful. The last story of the week: Apple reportedly working on a foldable phone with similar design as Samsung Galaxy Z Flip. So this has been rumored for the past 5-6 years, and what's new here is the information is claiming that Apple has decided to move forward with a clamshell style design similar to the old school flip phones. I'm looking forward to this because even though I am a massive Apple fanboy, I am a bit jealous of the foldable phones from Google and Samsung. I think they're so cool, and I cannot wait to use a foldable iPhone. So that wraps up this week in tech news. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe, and I will see you next week.